everybody. You are looking at the Mazda Rx-3 from the Japan Historics assortment from Car Culture. The first assortment from Car Culture, the first Japan Historics. We now call it Japan Historics 1 because the sequel was released earlier this year. The Mazda Rx-3 was a new casting in that particular mix. We've seen it a couple of times since, but this was the first one. It was also the debut of the 4-spoke Real Riders. Car culture is the thing in the Hot Wheels world now, and I thought I would do a quick update for this vlog episode of all the new castings, or at least their debuts. We've seen some of them a second or third time, like this Rx-3, but I thought I'd go through them, and I want to know which is your favorite. Put it down below. Let's see what you guys think in terms of the best, or we'll call it your favorite debut from Car Culture. Rx-3 is one from Japan Historics. Let's walk through them. Alright, next is the VW Golf Mk7. This was from the next mix. What was that? Euro style, I believe is what it was called. Also the debut of the new Real Rider Lace wheel. We haven't seen it much since. We've seen some other wheels that have debuted. We'll get to those. But the Mk7 has then kind of found a place in the main line. A couple different releases. Favorite or not, you know, I'll make my own commentary. I just don't know why this one debuted the way it did. Really, really nice casting, but terrible deco. No headlights, no taillights, and this kind of wimpy little deco. I wish we could have seen something different on this one because I think the casting is good. So this is definitely due another Car Culture spot or some sort of premium. Next is the Porsche 964. This is in a Magnus Walker deco. We've seen it a second time in black from Modern Classics. This one was in either track day or race day. I get those names mixed up. This was when Car Culture didn't have the front and rear decos. They would just do a couple of different passes. So this one doesn't have the headlights. I don't think it's missing as badly as like the Golf, but this one looks good. The casting's fantastic, and like I said, we've already seen it a second time. I prefer that version, but this may be your favorite new casting from Car Culture. Next one is the unsung gem from the Car Culture line, I think. It's the Fiat 500 Modificator. I don't know if I said that right, but I am hoping that this reappears in Car Culture, because I love the deco on this one. I think it's cool, but I'd love to see that front grille and headlights done, because it's a little incomplete, but this casting is just so cool. It is the debut of the tiny little 4 spokes that we've seen used so well lately in some of the JDM cars. But yeah, this one is due a return to Car Culture, hopefully soon, because I love the casting. Next is the Acura Nsx. This is a modified casting, but I think the way Hot Wheels does it, the way they numbered these, they consider this a new casting. It's a new SKU, new SKU, however you want to put it. It has a full new base to it, much more racing, a much better, heavier racing look to it. So I think this is considered a new model and looks fantastic in the Advan deco. I assume we'll see this maybe not in the main line, but back in premium again. So this is, I would say this is one we have one other, the Odyssey. We'll get to that in a little bit. Next is the Porsche 962 racing Porsche. Would have been nice to have a headlight look to it, but I do like this casting. Maybe this one is your favorite. That's the, second Porsche to debut? If we do the math, I think one BMW, definitely a few Porsches, a couple Porsches at least, a couple Skylines. We'll get to the rest, but that is the Porsche 962. Let me know if that's your favorite. It looks cool with the Greddy deco. And here's one that was my favorite last year by a mile from Modern Classics. It's the Mercedes 190e Evo. I love that it's in plain black. I love that it has front and rear tampos. I love the new Aero wheel. I don't remember which model those wheels debuted on, but they're fantastic. Another Car Culture debut was the Aero wheel. This casting's so cool, and if it wasn't for the Skyline wagon, I probably would say this is a top 3 or 4 casting for me already, but the Skyline wagon may have passed it, but not by much. Still love looking at this casting whenever I see it. Alright, one that's been relatively hard to find because of the strange mix of cars and donuts. This is the BMW M1 Pro car. we're going to see it again, so we'll see it in full deco soon. I think in black from the Project Cars series in Car Culture. This one, I love the lace wheels. I think it's going to have the new lace wheel Real Riders on it when it returns. So it's a lot of people haven't found this one just because of the wonky distribution of this particular mix, but I think we'll still see more and more come out, not just in those clearance Target sales or whatever, but one to look for, one that I think is, because of the strange mix, hasn't gotten its proper due, along with this next one, which is the Subaru Impreza WRX, the Bug Eye model. This one benefits from having the headlights as part of the window piece, and because while it was still just that two-pass era of car culture, it's still got the side deco and the rear deco because the headlights were already done. If it wasn't for the Evo, this would have been my favorite debut, or my favorite overall car culture model from 2017. Such a great model, such a great debut. I hope we do see it again, but you're never going to beat the blue with the gold rims. You just aren't. But that doesn't mean they shouldn't try, so hopefully we'll see this very soon again. Okay, moving into 2018, we've talked enough about Japan Historics 2, but here we are, two models that debuted. The Laurel is one, Nissan Laurel, the Pig's Butt Laurel. There comes that rear end swinging around right now. Beautiful green, great use of the small four-spoke wheels. The styling of the Japan Historics 2 was supposed to be like a Japanese car meet. So the cars have bright colors, no crazy decos, just straight up, just colorful decos. Great debut for the Laurel. We're going to see it again, I know, fairly soon. I'm sure we'll see it a lot along with this one. And that's the Skyline C210. This was part of our Skyline feature that I did with Jayco last week. Nice to see it with this gray background so the purple really pops out. I love this one with the chrome steering wheel, with the crisp deco, the Laurel too. Don't think that the price increase was just for a couple of Tampo passes and some larger cards. There's more to these models now because Hot Wheels can do it in their budget. And it includes the quality of the paint, it includes the quality of the decos, how they do it. Trust me, it's worth it because these look next level next to the years previous. And this is one of the great debuts, is the Skyline C210. It's just crisp as crisp can be. Finally, from Cargo Carriers, we've got more coming in 2018, but these are the final two models to debut. This is the Honda Odyssey. Obviously, we've seen the Odyssey done before, but this is a modified casting. And in Hot Wheels world, this is a new casting, just like the Acura Nsx from last year. This one, and it's actually quite different from the mainline Odyssey because the entire body is metal. It has that elevated piece to be a luggage carrier up top, a roof rack. And the entire body is different, front grille, everything else. I'm hoping we do see this one again. It seems like the Golf Transit van and this one hang a little more than the others. I think people are going to be sad they passed on this Odyssey, especially considering it represents the over 1,000 horsepower Odyssey done by Bisimoto. It's a beautiful car. And maybe I've shown this one too much, but it is the Nissan Skyline C10 van or C10 wagon, depending on whatever you want to call it. If you're in Japan, it's the van. If you're here, it's a wagon. But this is, I've already proclaimed my favorite new Hot Wheels model. It was my favorite Skyline, and it's my favorite car culture debut, along with the Evo. It does not get any better than this. I don't know how it can. I'm sure Hot Wheels would try, and I hope they do. But this has become my favorite Hot Wheels model. So clearly, it's my favorite car culture debut. And it may be yours, but it may not be. So let me know down below what your favorite is. What's the best car culture debut so far, with many, many more castings to come. It's a fun line to collect. Fun to do that update. That's your vlog episode for today. I want to hear from you in the comments section. Thanks, everybody. Bye.